The Resilient Jenkins eviction is officially in 7 days. And Stephanie's content is literally all over the place, from throwing her cats outside to cooking to snapping on Drew's other baby mamas. But y'all are never gonna believe this. So Stephanie has sub-only content on her page, and that sub-only content got leaked. And what her kids say, y'all have to just listen to.
I'm going to show those stupid people out there that we kids are happy with our mom. And you're not going to take that away from us. Or us.
So Stephanie had her children rehearse with her to say, we have a message for you stupid haters out there. And as she's saying this, she's looking over at her mom, like as for confirmation or something. First of all, why do your children know anything about haters that you have on the internet? Why are you involving your children in the online hate? So my next question is, why, Stephanie, do you think that it's a good idea to involve your children in the online talk about what's going on?
Alright you all, let's get into it because this situation is getting messier by the day. Stephanie and her family have just a week left before they have to move out. But you would never guess it from the way they are acting. No boxes packed, no clear relocation plans, just content, and more content. And now, she's pulling in a Mama Tot, hoping for a lifeline. If you are not familiar, Mama Tot, aka Ophelia Nicholas, is a well-loved TikTok creator known for her kindness and generosity, especially towards struggling mothers. When Stephanie suddenly name-dropped her in a video, it was obvious what she was trying to do, to get her attention, get the comments tagging her, and ultimately get her financial help. But let's break this down because there's a whole lot to unpack here. Stephanie dropped another update video about the move. But here's the thing, every time she does these countdown to eviction videos, there is zero sign of actual moving preparations. No packed up rooms, no suitcases, nothing. Instead, we see her making breakfast, combing the kids' hair, or just talking to the camera about anything other than the move.
So I know I said I was going to do the voiceovers just about anywhere in the home and just get them done, regardless of the chaos in the background and the distractions that might pop up. That's definitely proving to be a lot harder for my ADHD brain than I gave credit. See, because when I hear people rambling about floor's lava in the background when I'm trying to talk about my voiceover, all I can think about is floor's lava. 9 times out of 10, I'm sitting here trying to edit and my kids pop up and want to tell me something about their baby dolls or whatever the heck, and instantly my brain is stuck on some baby dolls. I had this voiceover completely planned out. I had some things I wanted to talk about. One thing about my content is that I want it to be relatable and I want it to be realistic. Realistically, a mom with 5 kids and a family of 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment, one of us gets alone time except when we go in the bathroom. Like I'm held at some kind of ridiculous standard, because what mom would not be overstimulated by never getting alone time? I most definitely don't get alone time in the bathroom either because my kids be popping in there every time I'm in there. This isn't me complaining because I'm not the type to complain about being a parent. It's me trying to give a little more insight to what it's like to be a family of 7 in a 1-bedroom apartment.
It's almost as if she's trying to distract from the fact that time is running out. And this time, she made sure to bring up Mama Tot in what seemed like a calculated move. The video's caption reads, "I'm capturing the last of our morning routines in this home. Take note. If I had crap to hide, I would have cowered out a long time ago. There's nothing to see here but a happy, loving mom of 5.
Mama 5. She's only the nicest lady on the internet. Ooh, I like it. Picasso, I like it.
And I made something, a quiet island.
A quiet island.
I
Sounds very
next week.
Let's be real. That's not what people are questioning. No one is asking whether she's a loving mom. They are asking why. With just days left before eviction, there's still no sign of a moving plan. Instead of seeing packed boxes or even a hint of preparation, we get just more content aimed at pulling heartstrings. The priorities here seem completely off. Is she genuinely in denial, hoping for a miracle, or just betting on TikTok sympathy to come through at the last minute?
So Stephanie from the Now So Resilient Chickens recently posted a video today, and it was her afternoon nighttime routine with the kids. Let's get into this. So obviously everyone's first question is, where are all the boxes at? Are you even packing? Why doesn't it look like you've been packing? What are you doing with boxes? And I want to say she did address this already. She did say that she's going to be using, I think she said, laundry baskets and bins because that's easier to her. And I did see in the video where there were bins, some bins laying around. Now the second thing is that she went to the park with the kids, and obviously Drew did not go. Drew decided his game was more important than family time. She took all the kids and the baby. Not only that, but she was the one to get the baby to bed while Drew was on his game, and you can clearly hear him on his game. So again, nothing new, but let me know your thoughts on this.
And this isn't just 1 or 2 videos, it's been a pattern. We keep getting updates about how little time they have left, but never about what they are actually doing to secure a stable home. Viewers have pointed this out repeatedly, asking why they haven't seen even the smallest sign of moving preparations. It would be one thing if she were actively trying to figure things out, but at this point, it seems like the entire focus is on controlling the narrative rather than handling the reality of the situation. Every day that passes without action makes it clear she's stalling, and she's hoping someone will step in to save them. The Mama Toad mention was painfully staged, and honestly, it couldn't have been more obvious. The video starts with on-screen text reading, "Who is Mama Toad?" making it seem like one of her kids just happened to ask. But did they really? Or was this just a carefully planned setup to introduce Mama Toad into the conversation and stir up engagement? Stephanie responds, calling Mama Toad the nicest lady on the internet. But the whole thing feels way too rehearsed. Let's be real. This was nothing more than an attempt to get Mama Toad's attention and, more importantly, to get her followers involved. Stephanie didn't tag her directly, but she knew exactly what she was doing. She was banking on people on the comments to tag Mama Toad for her, drawing her into the situation without making it look too desperate.
So I don't know where I got this bright illusion, but I have this idea that this postpartum period, no matter what the hormones tried to bring at me, I was going to have mental control over it. Yeah, I'm going to have to laugh at myself for that one. Definitely have a lot of mental growth over the last couple years, but postpartum is always going to bring some kind of whack-ass thrill of emotions that you're just not ready for. At this point in my life, I truly believe I've cried enough tears, so I feel like, why waste it? It's like a waste of time to sit there and cry, but these hormones have control over that completely. I'll be sitting there crying about the dumbest crap right now. Keep going though, especially because keeping up with my routine actually helped my mental a lot. And I swear I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. My kids are never the cause of my overstimulation, my emotions, none of it. They bring a sense of balance and peace to me. Getting in mom mode and cleaning, hanging out with the kiddos, all of that brings me a lot of joy. Like, why is it shocking that someone likes to be a mom? And like, teenage me would look at myself and be like, wait, you actually like being a mom? That's kind of wild. You didn't change from a teenager to like 30. There's something the matter with you. You gotta change. You gotta grow. Me, if I reach a point in my life where I can't grow anymore, that's when it's getting scary. Yes, after working memory care for so many years, I really just don't want my brain to be the first thing to go. Because I value my mental growth. I value being able to learn stuff and retain it. Being able to hold on to the memories that me and my kids make is definitely, it's an unmatched gift to say the least. While I do feel a lot more control this postpartum period than any of my other postpartums, I could just really do without the crying. I'm sure it's just the initial rush. I mean, I'm only almost 2 weeks postpartum. I always feel like the first month of hormones is really the roughest, at least for me personally. And time always flies by with the newborn. Time just flies by when you have kids in general. If you can't tell, this is Bubba's little artboard. Always washable, so we wipe it right off and then he just makes another drawing. Thanks for watching and listening to me ramble.
And as expected, the comment section lit up, not with support, but with people calling her out for being manipulative and calculated. This kind of tactic is nothing new in the social media culture. Name-dropping big influencers is a go-to move for creators who want exposure, especially when they need a helping hand. The idea is simple. Mention someone well-loved, frame yourself as a struggling underdog, and let the audience do the rest. It creates an indirect kind of pressure, pushing the influencer to respond out of goodwill or sheer public expectation. And given Mama Toad's reputation for kindness, it's not surprising that Stephanie chose her as a great target. The problem, people weren't buying it. Instead of rallying behind her, viewers saw straight through the attempt, and what could have been a moment of support turned into a wave of backlash. What makes it even worse is how blatantly it was orchestrated. There was no actual surge, no actual reason for Mama Toad to even be mentioned. It was just thrown in there, obviously in hopes of gaining sympathy. And it's not like Stephanie hasn't played this game before. She's been strategically curating her content to create an emotional pull for weeks, emphasizing her struggles while subtly nagging viewers toward the idea that she needs help. This was just another extension of that pattern. The difference is, this time it backfired spectacularly. Instead of generating empathy, it just made people more skeptical of her intentions. At this point, the question isn't whether Stephanie is struggling, because clearly her situation is difficult, but rather whether she's actively trying to resolve it or simply relying on social media to save her. Time is running out, and with every misstep like this, she's only making it harder for people to take her seriously. The focus should be on securing a stable future for her family, but instead, it feels like she's doubling down on tactics that aren't working.
Stephanie, you're so worried about what everyone is saying about you. Like, come on, it's so obvious. You should be worried about where your children are going to be laying their heads and say, kind of low-key scary just how unserious you are about this whole thing. And you're on here posting, oh, Drew and I are baby making. And you guys probably are. Wouldn't be surprised, because that's your priority, right? Not, finding a place to go. Now, the people wishing that the Brazilian Jenkins are homeless, that's fucked up. The kids don't deserve that. But what do you guys really think is gonna happen? Do you think they really do have a place to live? Do you think it's bigger than a 1-bedroom? Do you think they're gonna end up in their car or hotel? I wanna know what you guys think below.
And if this latest stunt is anything to go by, the sympathy she's hoping for is quickly running dry. Meanwhile, Stephanie is still facing intense backlash over the resurfaced allegations that she gave her stepson, Drew's son, a black eye. When asked about it, she brushed it off as an accident but conspicuously avoided giving any details. What kind of accident? How did it happen? She refused to say, instead insisting that people wouldn't believe her no matter what she said. That response only fueled more suspicion. Why stay silent if the truth is on your side? Out of nowhere, she's posting videos of herself combing the same boy's hair, attempting to paint a picture of herself as a devoted, affectionate stepmother. But the internet isn't buying it. The sense felt forced and awkward, especially since his hair was visibly tangled and difficult to comb through, making the whole thing uncomfortable to watch. If she genuinely cared for his well-being, wouldn't she make sure his hair was properly maintained instead of yanking at it on camera? The whole display reeked of damage control, and viewers wasted no time pointing this out in the comments. And let's not pretend this is an isolated incident. This is a pattern. Remember when people criticized Drew for not pulling his weight around the house? Almost like clockwork, he was suddenly featured in a video vacuuming and showing off his so-called cooking skills. It was painfully obvious that the clip was staged, a desperate attempt to shift the narrative rather than address the real concerns. This kind of reactionary content screams insecurity. If Stephanie truly didn't care about public perception, she wouldn't feel the need to scramble and post these calculated, proof of good parenting clips every time she faced criticism. What's even more troubling is how exploitative and potentially harmful this type of performative parenting can be. If the black eye allegations are true, then using a child as a PR prop is beyond appalling. And if they aren't true, why continue to dance around the truth instead of clearing the air once and for all? Either way, it's a terrible look that does more harm than good. Instead of silencing concerns, these videos are only amplifying them, leaving people with more questions than answers. And let's not forget about the cats. Yep, Stephanie and Drew had 4 indoor cats until she decided to dump them outside because they wanted to be free. If they weren't planning to take them to the next house, why not rehome them properly instead of abandoning them? Animal control has reportedly been called on her for this, and honestly, rightfully so. The internet does not take kindly to animal neglect, and this move only made things worse for Stephanie's already crumbling reputation. If she was looking for sympathy, this definitely wasn't the way to get it. With just a week left until eviction, Stephanie and Drew still don't have a clear housing plan. She previously mentioned that she couldn't afford a 3-bedroom, and the 2-bedroom option she could afford have a 5-person max occupancy limit, but they are a family of 7. So where are they going? And more importantly, what's their backup plan if things fall through at least last minute? What's more concerning is that neither Stephanie nor Drew has a job. Rent needs to be paid every month. So how exactly do they plan to afford their next place? Are they hoping to just skip payments again? And if they couldn't pay rent before, will any landlord even approve them? These are the real questions, and so far, they haven't given any real answers. Instead of addressing these concerns, they continue to post content as if everything is fine. But is it? Because from the outside looking in, it seems like they are either in complete denial or intentionally avoiding reality. Stephanie's excuse for not packing was that they are not moving far. But have they even secured a place yet? If they have, why haven't they said so? And if they haven't, how can she be so sure they won't have to move far? Is that why she's so unbothered about packing? Or is she banking on a last-minute handout? Maybe she's just stalling, hoping that someone will swoop in and save them. But with the only days left, that seems like a dangerous gamble. At this point, the lack of urgency is baffling. And unless they are hiding some miracle plan, things are looking worse by the day. Instead of focusing on moving, Stephanie is focused on how people perceive her. She's trying to shape a narrative, push back against criticism, and subtly ask for financial help, all while her eviction date gets closer and closer. And here's the thing, sympathy doesn't pay rent, strategy and responsibility do. If she put half the energy she puts in on TikTok into securing a house and financial stability, maybe she wouldn't be in this mess. What do you think? Is Stephanie genuinely struggling? Or is she just looking for an easy way out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest updates on this situation.